Namaskar. We welcome you to our Women Empowerment series. We have here with us a very honorable person who has been working with women and for women for a very long time. He is Mr. Anand Nair, who is the founder of Anand Nair Leadership Foundation. We are so glad to have you here with us, sir. I would like to share a few words about you before we go ahead with the interview. So, Anand Nair ji has spent almost 4 successful decades in the corporate world, heading in as a management trainee and teeing off as a chief executive officer of a significantly large global institute and research center involved in clinical research. He passionately then decided to give back to the world what he had learned over the years. With a meandering path filled with a few hits and misses, he eventually evolved into an inspirational speaker, a mentor, a writer, and artist. This turned out to be an amazingly fulfilling space for him to exist in. He is an inspirational speaker and he enthuses people to live amazing and fulfilling lives. As a mentor, he shares his corporate experiences and offers practical solutions to both professionals who feel they are floundering in their careers and entrepreneurs whose ventures could do with a bit of re engineering. As a writer, he motivates people to craft masterpieces way out of every moment opportunity that comes their way. This is a short summary that he has provided. We had this wonderful opportunity through LinkedIn. I welcome you here today so that you can share your amazing journey with us. Please share about your inspiring story with us. Thank you.
Navina ji, thank you so much for inviting me. I am absolutely honored. I have been also seeing what your foundation has been doing, and I must admit, this country needs more foundations like yours so that we can literally help all our women entrepreneurs and others across the country to become awe-inspiring examples of entrepreneurship for the entire world to see. Now, if you'd like to know how I started my journey as a women entrepreneur incubator, this is a very interesting thing because uh, somewhere in my youth, I used to see my mother, who was a very, very strong fighter for women rights. And I'm talking about 1970s, 70s and very early 80s. And I used to be amazed at the way she was so committed in trying to uphold women rights in an era where women didn't have that freedom of expression they have today. So it was a very difficult era, and it was a grooming point for me to understand that how important it is for women to not only live their rights, but also be able to flower in all the talent they had. Somewhere this seed got sown inside me and remained latent for some time because I spent 40 years in the corporate world, and as you said, as a management trainee up to a chief executive officer. And then when I decided to step out into the world as an entrepreneur, because I was not interested in retiring at any point of time. I don't believe in retirement. I believed that since I had reached the end of my journey, the pinnacle of my career, I should now give back to the world what I've learned. I didn't want to take it to my grave, you see. So the only other thing was, why not now move into the space of women empowerment? Because that seed was now ready to bloom. And it so happened that in late December 2016, I held my first summit called the Agni Women Entrepreneur Summit in Bangalore, which had just about 99 women that entered the summit and participated in the summit. And I had some very good speakers. And that gave me collateral to move ahead and hold another summit in Mysore, early 2017. And then that was also basically funded by the Karnataka government because they were quite impressed with the work that I was trying to do. And then I took the summit across to Chennai, where I had almost 500 women entrepreneurs attending it. And we We had three, four different panels, speakers, and it was very, very exciting, very interesting because I sort of established myself in the field of women entrepreneurship, which I wanted to do because I wanted to reach out to women entrepreneurs and help them. And since then, I must have mentored over hundreds of women entrepreneurs. And it is such a beautiful journey I am in right now, helping women entrepreneurs to express themselves and to be able to create amazing, amazing organizations for themselves.
Know that it started off from your mother. That's really inspiring.
Yes,
There
yes.
have been women entrepreneurs now, and before also there were women entrepreneurs, like you said. So, what do you see is the big difference between women entrepreneurs who were then women entrepreneurs now? What do you see as the difference or the growth or their thinking patterns or change in thoughts?
Well, yes, there is actually quite a large difference. If you look at the women entrepreneurs of the yesteryears, let us face one important truth about ourselves is that those years it was a very highly male dominated country and a male dominated industry. So there was enormous amount of pressures on women entrepreneurs. Not that it is still not here, but it has reduced majorly in today's era. But you see how daunting it is for a woman to step out as an entrepreneur. Even today, when you see men, if they make a mistake as an entrepreneur or as a professional, no one bothers about it because the concept is that his job is to go out, earn the money and come. Whether he goes out as an entrepreneur or whether he goes out as a professional. But for a woman to take that step, you see, she cannot make a single mistake
Mm.
because the moment she makes a mistake, she will be ridiculed by her own parents, her children, her husband, her in-laws, her friends, society, everyone. So you can imagine the enormous amount of pressure a woman actually harbors within her and her around her to take that step as an entrepreneur. But I must admit that it is far more open now than it was in those years because my mother, when she stepped out of as a professional, decided to move in as an entrepreneur in her own rights to handle women rights. It wasn't an easy journey. If
Mm.
I look at it today, it would have been much easier because there are so many societies, there are so many NGOs, there are so many organizations that support women's rights. But those years it wasn't. And so it was an uphill task that time. But even today, to a certain extent, women face several challenges, right from planting the seed as an entrepreneur to getting funding to being mentored. Because even mentors sometimes don't take them seriously because they say, for 2, 3 months, then they will say, no, it's not possible. But they don't realize that today the Indian woman is an embodiment of balance. The amount of enterprise that she has within her, if it is caught and ignited, it she can become far superior as an entrepreneur than anyone else. That is what I feel.
That's really empowering words as a woman for me to hear, sir. And I'm sure it is for all the ladies who are listening to this video at this moment of time as well. So, what do you say is one challenge that women are facing today, and what would your advice be for them to overcome it?
This is a very interesting question because the truth is that is a gender challenge,
Mhm.
and it is very strong. It is very demotivating, and I tell them very often that if you're getting demotivated, do not go ahead because strong entrepreneurs don't need motivation; they need
Mhm.
inspiration. They
Right.
need inspiration to visualize, inspiration to create things that can change the way the world exists.
Mhm.
In fact, quite recently, I have my own women entrepreneur group, and I was having a webinar with them, and I was telling them that if you come to me as a mentee and say I need to be motivated, I will say please stop being an entrepreneur and go and work somewhere. But if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, tell me you want inspiration. Tell me we need to sit down and think what we can do together to change the way the world exists. So gender disqualification is an issue even when they go to meet clients. cusp. Of course, now with the new normal, most everything is happening mainly on Zoom meetings like this. Even during their client visits and client calls, there's no physical visits now. It's all and it's very comfortable.
Yes.
The entire system of taking your product to the market has changed now vis-a-vis the pre-pandemic situation.
Mhm.
But there is discrimination. When they go to a bank, for example, for a loan, then the banker says, "Madam, how long are you married?" First question is, "Are you married? When do you plan to have children? When do you plan to become a mother?" Then he calculates, "No, if you become mother by the next 3 or 4 years, what is going to happen to my repayment?" So this thought process must change, and this is not changing. You see, we do not need to tell women what to do. We need to tell the men how to react when women want to do what they want to do. That is the most important thing.
This is a powerful point which you have mentioned here, sir. It is true that there are challenges that women are facing like this today wherever they go. So, what do you suggest to the women who are listening to us right now, that how do they put up with this parity? How do they put themselves out there? First, how to keep themselves motivated, and even though they're listening these kind of statements from others, and how to show that yes, they can also do it and they should be given a chance.
Navina ji, you are a lady, you are a woman.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me that our Indian women, don't they have enterprise? They have the enormous amount of resilience. You see any Indian woman, she is a multi-purpose project in herself.
Correct.
She takes care of the family. She brings up her children. She handles her in-laws, her own family. She handles the world,
Mhm.
right? She is like, Durga with so many hands doing so many things,
Yes.
right? Of any human being that can do that, you think that person cannot be an entrepreneur? I have traveled across the world because being a part of a very large enterprise in clinical research for research in research institute, I was tied up with a lot of organizations across the world, and I would be traveling quite a bit. And I will tell you this with a lot of pride, that there is no woman like the Indian woman across the world. And when I see, I have my own community of women entrepreneurs, and I keep on encouraging them, giving them new modules to learn, new things to do, and I tell them, you must not only become successful as an entrepreneur, you must stand up as an awe-inspiring example to the entire world what Indian women can do in entrepreneurship. So they don't need motivation.
Yes.
You tell me, Navina ji, what motivation do you require running a home? But you're running it because
Yes.
of that self, that enterprise inside you, that enormous amount of commitment and resilience that combine the Indian woman, right? Where do you need motivation? What you need is inspiration. What do I do? What is my niche? What should I do that I can, through my work, change the way this world exists? That is what I address with all my women entrepreneurs. And we come to a certain niche where I help them flower that for
Yes.
themselves.
It's very true. The Indian women are actually very strong and have all the motivation that they need, because they not only work and take care of their homes, but they have started
Yes,
stepping out of their families and started taking care of their families from outside as well, being
yes,
themselves, putting their
yes,
dreams in the forefront and working towards it. So,
yes.
what is the motivation? What is the inspiration you give when you go out in your talks and share your inspiration talks with others, especially through this lockdown? Men and women have been facing a lot of issues because
Yes.
not only of the lockdown, but because of businesses going down. So, how do you keep their inspiration up?
Navina ji, you see, life, if you look at life, whether you're a woman or whether you're a man, whether you're a child, whether you're a girl, whether a boy, it doesn't matter. Everybody's journey is singular.
Yes.
So one of the most important things that I do when it comes to my women entrepreneurs, I tell them, one of the biggest risks that they take
Mhm.
is advice.
Mhm.
See, no one can advise you because they can't be your part of your journey. Your
Mhm.
life's journey is very, very inclusive. So you cannot, even if I had to advise you, Navina ji, I cannot, because My journey is different and your journey is different. I can only inspire you, but I cannot advise you for anything. So I always tell my women entrepreneurs, yes, and many of them get very demotivated, very disinspired because they say, so, my husband is not allowing this, my children, I don't know how to get time.
Mm.
There is time for everything. And when such challenges I'm made to advise or made to inspire, I tell them, I said, see, just follow your passion. There's nothing else you got to do. Everything in your life is passion. And if you're passionate about doing something, nothing in the world can ever stop you. I said, see, I am one of the very, very few males in a niche handling women entrepreneurs. Because males will not get into this because they said, oh, nothing's going to happen. Yes, a lot of things happen. A lot of beautiful things have happened from 2016 onwards, almost 5 years. I have so many beautiful examples to talk about how some women did phenomenal things. Things, Navina ji, they didn't even believe they could do. There is lockdowns. There is cohesive living within a home has become difficult. And it is not necessarily because of the woman, because she's living at home in any case. Whether she's at office or wherever she is, she works long hours, she does everything. It really is those who don't spend so much time at home and who, when come home, treat it like an office.
Yes.
So that is so it is so a home is not alien to a woman, whether she is a housewife or a house manager, I should say, or she's a professional. Home is not alien. It's alien to the man. It's alien to the children because the children don't live at home. They're always outside. But it is the woman who, so she's not at fault.
Yeah.
She knows how, yes, but imagine how increased her responsibility gets, right? Because now you have 24 hours. The responsibility of catering to their demand, the responsibility of handling their internal tensions, the responsibility of handling irritation, the responsibility of handling her own mind, and yet her responsibility of governing this entire home management and clockwork precision. It's clockwork precision because no one gets food delayed, no one gets food not well cooked, right? No one gets hot water not in the tap, right? So now imagine when I look at all this, tell me, Navina ji, don't women have the enterprise?
They
They have
do.
the enterprise to be a professional. There's no
Yes.
two ways about it.
You have shared some very important views about women and also men to actually help them open up their mindset to women working and support them in what they want to do, because women can take care of the home and the office.
25 crore executives have lost their jobs over the last two pandemics. Majority of them are men. And it is the women who have stepped out and kept the flag hoisted in their homes.
That's
The
amazing.
men have not been able to accept what has happened in their lives. The fact that they've lost a job, they're not being able to reconcile with it. But a woman did not take very long. She stepped out and said, food has to be brought on the table. And I will tell you for a fact, because the number of women entrepreneurs who have now connected with me over the last 5 months is astonishing, astonishing. And I know that they are out there not only to prevent their homes from collapsing, but now seizing an opportunity to fructify all their dreams. And I am so excited about that.
I'm so happy that you are on our side, or you are on the
Yes.
side of growth for
Yes.
all of humanity, supporting women. I truly appreciate what you're doing for all the women entrepreneurs out there, and I wish and hope that more and more women connect to you by looking
Yes.
at this video.
Yes.
So thank you once again for coming and talking to us. Namaskar.
Thank you for a foundation like yours. This country needs more foundations like you. Thank you so much.